Welcome back, guys.
All right, guys, we are here in round 3. We have Brady Hogue and Bob Levdansky sitting in our feature match tonight. Brady Hogue is on Jund Death Shadow, and Bob is on Grixis Delver. And it looks like Brady's going to open up with an Inquisition of Kozilek.
What's Bob revealing?
Looks like he is fetching and shocking in an Overgrown Tomb as well, so he's going to drop to 17.
Is Bob playing Grixis Death Shadow?
Oh, is he on Grixis Death Shadow? This might be a little
spicier than
little
we intended.
different than what he normally plays.
And the matchup is a little spicier than we intended it to be. Which I'm happy with.
Yeah. Grixis Death Shadow is a real surprise kind of deck. I played against it a couple times, and the first time I ever played against Grixis Death Shadow, I did not even know that it was a Death Shadow deck until Game 3 because it played like it. He didn't get a Death Shadow for the first 2 games, my opponent, and I thought I was just playing traditional Grixis Delver because I was fighting Tassigers and Anglers.
Well,
and then Game 3, he turned around and turned to Death Shadow me, and I was like, oh.
Well, if you look at the lists, like the only real telling cards are
the
Street Wraith, Mishra's Bauble, Death Shadow.
Yeah,
I think. Like,
and yeah, when I
maybe like what's the tribal shock card, the Goblin card, Tarfire.
Yeah. The first 2 games I played against the Grixis Death Shadow deck, they did not play a single one of those cards. They played Tassigers and Snapcasters and Anglers. And so I had boarded in thinking, I was like, I can board against Grixis Delver.
I would imagine you don't board too much differently.
No, I was also running Ponza at the time, which is
okay.
Death Shadow is a tough matchup for Ponza.
Yeah, I can see that. Their threat's 1 mana.
Yeah. If you can't get down like a turn 2 Blood Moon, you're in trouble.
Oh boy! All right, so it looks like Brady drew one of the Amonkhet foil full art basics from the open house.
He has a few of those in there.
Pretty, very nice.
I like him. I'm not sure I'm a fan of the Nicol Bolas horns in the background of all of them.
It's a little odd.
Yeah.
Okay. Bob's going to shock in his Steam Vents and head down to 15 life. Then he's going to go ahead and cycle the Street Wraith, going down to 13.
This is going to be the race to see who can get their life total the lowest, the quickest.
Bob's got a good head start.
Yeah.
Although, Brady still has this Marsh Flats to crack.
He does.
Is it interesting not casting the Tarmogoyf there on turn 2? Do you think he just did it because of
Fatal Push?
Yeah, maybe he wants to wait till turn 3 where he can Inquisition away the Fatal Push, but Bob still has the Snapcaster.
He has a Snapcaster.
Yeah.
I think there's not really a good way to play around the Fatal Push. I think you just gotta sack a Goyf to it to get it out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, usually these black-red X matchups, this is how it goes.
Denial. There you go. Ooh. That is a card that you don't see in regular Grixis Delver. Really.
No, it's just, I've seen it in the Death Shadows list. That could be a mirror breaker here.
Yeah.
Because that's a card that helps you play around your opponent's removal spells. That way you're trading the counterspell with the removal spells instead of your creatures.
Yeah.
But Brady's going to go ahead and take the Fatal Push. All right, now it looks like he's thinking on it. Yeah, he's going to do that.
Forces him to use the Snapcaster to get back if he wants.
Right, and that's 3 mana, so that's going to be an entire turn to answer the Tarmogoyf. Then again, it's taking Brady the whole 3 mana and a turn to set this up.
Yeah. And I know I was just sitting in on Brady's match in round 2 at the end there for a little bit when they were finishing up, and this is his first time ever, or his first night ever using this deck. He did borrow it from Brian.
Right. Brady. Every time Brady's been down recently, he's been on a different deck because he's been brewing stuff up and borrowing decks from various people. He borrowed Merfolk from me one night. It used to be on Burn, like, exclusively all the time.
Yeah.
Now he's trying out various things, which is smart. In an expensive format like Modern, it's good to try out a bunch of different decks before you spend your money.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're buying into something you're going to be happy playing a lot. So it's interesting getting the second Overgrown Tomb there instead of red. That makes me think he has another land in his hand.
I think I saw quite a few lands.
Yeah, he has
hand,
he has a Verdant Catacombs there.
He also has a Fatal Push in hand, I see, as well.
Which is probably just going to end up trading with that...
Snapcaster?
No.
Or the Death Shadow?
Well, if he targeted the Death Shadow, it's going to get countered. But
True.
yes, the Fatal Push will probably just end up killing the Snapcaster Mage.
Did you remember to tell Brady to put his lands in the back?
I did not, but we can... One of us can step downstairs for game number 2. Because we do try to follow Wizards guidelines for coverage.
Right.
Alright, so Brady untaps. He has a 4/5 Goyf. I would imagine Bob's just going to wait for him to attack and then draw either that or cast if he casts another Inquisition. Here's Mishra's Bauble, the most ridiculous price on a uncommon I've ever seen.
I used to have a bunch of Mishra's Bauble back when Ice Age was around, and that, I mean, until Mishra's Bauble wound up in this deck, I don't think anybody noticed it.
It was for a long time. It was like a $5 uncommon, and I still thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
because it saw some like fringe play in decks, like in Manaless Dredge. It was in Manaless Dredge and Legacy sometimes. All right, so here's the Tarmogoyf swinging in for 5. He just got the artifacting in the graveyard. Bob's gonna crack his fetch land, go down to 10, I would assume.
Yeah. You think he just Snapcast Fatal Push?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah. So
there you go.
Snapcaster, Fatal Push, kill your Tarmogoyf.
There you go.
Tarmogoyf down. The old Tarmanerd.
Although, he could have left the Tarmogoyf in him. Just gives him a bigger Death Shadow.
That's true. But, like, you are playing against a deck that has burn spells.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't want to go too low. And you do have that Water Your Grave, so you can at least go down to 8. So then your Death Shadow will be a 1/1, right? Because
I mean, his Death Shadow will be
no, it's a
it's
a 13. So yeah, I was thinking it was a 9/9 for some reason.
I don't think anybody would play that card if it was
No.
9/9.
All right, so here's Inquisition.
So he's only got there you go, Fatal Push and
Abrupt Decay.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that art before.
That's the World Magic Cup qualifier promo. I think.
Right, so it's
either that or it's an RPTQ promo. So when he cast that, I was like, why isn't Brady Fatal Pushing in response? But if he just has 2 removal spells, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Now he gets to still see Bob.
So he'll just stubbornly deny.
Well, I think you just Fatal Push the Snapcaster now. Yeah, so
he's got to read it.
So Bob made a good choice. He took the Abrupt Decay, which could have killed the Death Shadow.
Yep.
Right.
Can't be countered.
So he leaves the Fatal Push in Brady's hand. So Brady has to choose: does he want the Fatal Push to trade with the Stubborn Denial or with the Snapcaster Mage? I imagine you just kill the Snapcaster Mage, and then try to get another Abrupt Decay.
Maybe
he's going to take the 2.
He'll still have Stubborn Denial in hand. You don't think he would stubbornly deny a Fatal Push on a Snapcaster?
Well, he can't. It won't trigger Ferocious because the power on the Snapcaster Mage is only 2.
I thought Ferocious triggered as long as you just had a creature with...
I think it's power 4 or greater.
Yeah, which...
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. So he would have had to Fatal Push the Snapcaster with the Death Shadow on the stack.
Yeah.
Yes.
He would have.
Okay, so that Fatal Push is going to trade with that Stubborn Denial unless he draws an Abrupt Decay or something.
Yeah, that Fatal Push is not going to go anywhere. Man, Stubborn Denial, what a great... One of the great, I think, underrated...
It's very niche,
spells,
but in the right deck, it's really good. Like, certainly it's good in this deck.
I mean, it's a 1-mana negate.
There's a Tar
Pretty much. You're almost always going to have a creature that can trigger Ferocious once you have that.
So here's Traverse the Uvenwald, which is going to search out a Tarmogoyf, which is not bad.
No, I mean... Brady's own Death Shadow will only be a 1/1 right now, so it's not...
Yeah. But Bob's Death Shadow is a 5/5.
Right.
Yeah. And Tarmogoyf is... It is a
5/6.
5/6. It's a 5/6. Although...
All Bob needs to do is draw a land.
Or take a hit from the Tarmogoyf.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, so here's Polluted Delta, which can grow the Death Shadow by at least 3 power and toughness if he would like. And he's not going to crack. I like this play. He's going to attack, and he's going to make Brady decide if he wants to block first or not.
Yeah. We don't know what Bob's other card is, do we?
No, we don't.
See it.
All right, so I'm thinking Brady said no blocks, and Bob's going to crack and fetch. Would you shock here?
Yeah, I don't see why not. He has a Snapcaster back to block with a Stubborn Denial for the Fatal Push.
I guess since Brady is low on cards in his hand, you're not worried about a couple burn spells just being thrown at you.
Right. He has only Fatal Push in hand.
All right, so he's just gonna get an. He's gonna play it safe. I like Bob's position here, so he's gonna play cautiously, which is not what I always do, but it's probably what you should do.
I mean, is Death's Shadow really for playing cautiously?
You're right. You're right.
No, I mean, there's no bad choice to be made here.
Yeah.
If I were Brady, I think I honestly would have wanted to traverse for a Death Shadow, take the hit from Bob's Death Shadow, and then your Death Shadow is bigger now.
Bob may not have attacked if Brady got a Death Shadow, but
even better than that's a bluff blocker.
That's
right
true.
There, so
it's hard to say. Like these
and
decks are not.
Brady's only ran the deck. I don't know, 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, it's not an easy. I would imagine it's not an easy deck to pilot either.
I mean, you really have to manage your life total with it. Here's
Traverse. I imagine he's getting a Death Shadow here.
Death Shadow.
Yeah.
But Bob could stubbornly deny that. But then that would leave up Fatal Push. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. We don't know what Bob's other card is either.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It really depends on what Bob's other card is.
So he's going to let it go. So I'm assuming that whatever Bob's other card is not something that could keep his Death Shadow alive.
Yeah.
So he really wants to hang on to that Stubborn Denial for that Fatal Push.
Now I'm not hitting Brady's position because he has 2 big idiots.
He has a bigger Death Shadow.
Yeah.
And he's got a 5/6 Goyf.
Yep.
This is an interesting matchup. How quickly the tables can turn.
I'm not sure the tables have really turned, but like they're back to at least parity. Like it's hard to say.
It's so interesting, and this is what I hate about playing against Death Shadow is that you have to. You need to kill your opponent, but in the act of trying to kill them, you're helping them get stronger than you.
Also, the more draw steps both these players get, the more likely they are to draw burn spells.
Yeah.
All right, so they're both gonna be at 5, which means the Death Shadows have equal power and toughness.
Right.
Is this a
Street Wraith?
Actually,
Street Wraith.
Which has Swamp Walk.
Yeah.
Which could, if these Death Shadows are just going to stare at each other, this Street Wraith could close the game.
It's true.
And even though Brady's Death Shadow will grow larger, the Snapcaster can just block it, and Fatal Push cannot kill Street Wraith because it's 5 mana.
No. I think what Brady needs to do here is swing in with both, let the Death Shadow trade, and let the Goyf eat the Snapcaster.
Okay.
And then Goyf outraces Street Wraith right now still. Goyf kills in 1. Street Wraith needs 2 attacks? Is it a 3/3?
3. I think it's a 2. I thought it was 2 power, but either way, it's more than 1.
Right.
All right, so the Death Shadows are going to trade.
Yep.
And then the Stubborn Denial's turned off.
Right, it is.
So he can now Fatal Push the Snapcaster Mage and attack.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting game. All right, so here's Fatal Push.
I think Bob just realized
that. Yeah.
He realized. Yeah, I think
on Nutter Butters.
Yeah.
All right, so block. Yep.
Bob kind of gave it to him by attacking with the Death Shot, I think he would have been better off hanging it back to block.
Yeah, and just attacking with the Street Wraith. I agree.
Yeah.
So, and Street Wraith's going to chump. Bob's going to hope to draw a Snapcaster or a Fatal Push or something. Although, if he draws Snapcaster Mage, he's right back in this game.
True. And the life totals are so low right now. Snapcaster's a legitimate threat.
Yeah,
as far as damage goes.
But he is dead on board, so he needs removal spell or blocker now.
He drew something. It is a
Snapcaster. So Snapcaster
off the top.
Fatal Push. It looks like he cast Inquisition. Okay.
I don't see why he would do that. Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that he targeted Inquisition, but it looked like
he pulled it out.
Yeah, he moved it to his exile pile.
And if he had, he would have no reason to scoop there either.
Did he not have a Fatal Push in his graveyard?
I thought I saw one in there.
Did he already flashback one?
He might have. With
the
first Snapcaster. I think you're right. I think he did.
If he didn't have one, then yeah, you target Inquisition, and hopefully he just has sorcery speed removal instead of instant speed. If he has instant speed removal, you're dead, and it doesn't matter. Right. Yeah, I imagine if Bob had a Fatal Push in his graveyard, he would have chosen that. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so I think he's actually playing Wyatt's deck, not Brain's deck.
Is that Wyatt's deck?
Well, one, there are foils in it, and two, I saw Wyatt's Fairy Tale tokens.
Oh, okay. All right.
And also, there's not those sleeves that Brain uses, but that's a little deep. Are those lingering souls in the sideboard there?
Looks like it.
That's an interesting tech. All right, so we got Brady just barely squeaking across the finish line in game number 1.
Interesting matchup.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I enjoyed it.
I think I think it would have been. I think Bob should have left the Death Shadow back to block. Although Brady was still, I think, in the more advantageous situation either way, because he could have attacked, forced the chump with the Death Shadow and the Snapcaster, and then still had a Tarmogoyf that can outrace the Street Wraith.
You're right.
So it was tough either way. Hard spot to be in.
Yeah. So it looks like he's taking out Liliana, which I think, I'm not terribly familiar with this matchup, but I would think you'd want the Liliana because it generates value in these grindy fair matchups. Yeah. And it also gets back your creatures after they've been fatal pushed. Mm-hmm. That might be a little bit in error there.
Maybe he's just trying to bring in more burn.
It's possible.
From the sideboard.
I think he's now. One of the hardest things about playing Magic, in particular in Modern, because the matchups are so polarizing, is sideboarding. Yeah. And we gotta keep in mind this is Brady's first time playing this deck.
True.
And sideboarding a deck with a deck you don't know is rough.
Yes, I recall my second time borrowing your Abzan deck back when I was first taking my four-way in, and you had changed the sideboard
by one card?
Without telling me, by a few cards.
Okay.
And all your cards are in Japanese. So, and I did not know that you had changed the sideboard until I went to sideboard for the first time.
That's funny. We're going to get that match timer updated for you guys. I'm also bringing up the chat now. Sorry about that. I forgot. Got a little excited about this matchup. Forgot to turn the chat back on. Matt Moore, if you are watching this, yes, you can ride up with me tomorrow. Just sent me a Facebook message.
Thanks for telling everybody.
Okay.
We got some comment. The World Cup qualifier promo. Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah, for the abrupt decay, and that is Matt. That is the conductor. That is Matt.
Oh, okay. Hey, Matt, how's it going, bud?
I might have to come up a little early, depending on how much setup we do tonight. But I'm hoping to get everything set up tonight, so I don't have to come up super early. But I'll let you know. Turning. All right, I have got the Facebook chat back on. So we're all caught up, guys. if you're just tuning in, we're watching Brady Hogue versus Bob Levdansky, John Death Shadow versus Grixis Death Shadow. Pick your flavor. Or Baskin Robbins.
I don't know.
I like both.
I like both.
I've seen Esper lists too.
Esper.
Jeff Bales was playing an Esper Death Shadow at one point, I think, or somebody was. That sounds like something he would do.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like that Stubborn Denial in the Grixis one.
Stubborn Denial is strong.
It's enough. I don't know if it's enough in the mirror.
Enough to. Well, I mean, like it was certainly good.
Yeah.
He just made that attack that maybe wasn't.
It. The issue I think is that Jund Death Shadow can play Goyfs.
Yeah.
Grixis Death Shadow has Snapcasters. I've seen a couple lists with Tassigers.
You got Tasker and or Gurmag Angler.
Right.
Yeah.
Which are okay, but they're not Tarmogoyf.
You're right. Tarmogoyf's a little more reliable. He also has the potential to grow past the power and toughness of both Gurmag Angler and Tasker of the Golden Bananas.
I wonder if either of them boarded in any graveyard hate.
It's hard to say. Like,
it's good against both decks.
It probably depends on what kind of graveyard hate you're playing, because obviously these decks aren't going to be playing something like Relic of Progenitus,
right?
Because
Bojuka Bog in the sideboard.
But you want stuff that targets just your opponent's graveyard.
Right.
Leyline of the Void would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leyline would be huge.
All right, so
looks like he's got a couple Street Race in hand.
Bob's is shocking and then cast Serum Visions with that sweet new art.
Yep.
And Brady
we have a
Brady
shock
shocks
and a Thoughtseize.
Tell the people what you see.
I see Death Shadow, Stubborn Denial. Man, I was lost on my tongue for a second.
I keep forgetting that card's name too.
Street Wraith, the red black land. I can never remember
Blood
what
Crypt.
it's called. Blood Crypt.
Swamp.
Can't see.
I think it was a polluted delta.
I think it was another land. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's polluted delta. So here, I imagine you
just takes a Stubborn Denial. Yeah, okay.
So I guess if you have a removal spell in your hand,
you want to keep
If you take the Death Shadow, then the removal spell is like a dead card in your hand. But if you take the counter spell, then you get to use the removal spell on the Death Shadow.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's smart.
That's a good choice.
I think
there's a Nile Spellbomb. There
Nile
you go.
Spell. Now that's what
good.
you want. That also draws you cards. So that's great.
I think I saw some of those in Brady's list when he was looking through his deck too.
I would imagine they're both playing it because it helps get you towards Delirium. It draws you a card.
I mean, it takes Jund variants off of Delirium, and it takes the Goyf down too. And against Grixis, it can keep their Tassigers and their Anglers offline.
Yep, I like it. What do you think about Jund Death Shadow playing Hooting Mandrills? Whoop whoop.
I don't know. I
like it.
It's a 4/4.
It's got trample.
It's got trample.
It's probably not good.
But it's not better than Goyf.
It's probably not better than Goyf. Maybe in addition to Goyf. Here's the cycle. What do you think? What are you calling the new dual lands from Amonkhet?
Cycle lands.
What about bicycle?
I've heard the bicycle thing. I don't know. I like it. I like the bicycle, but I don't think it's going to catch on.
Somebody said it in front of Ron the other night, and Ron was like, "What?" And he's like, "They're bicycle lands."
Yeah.
What? And they had to explain it to him, and it was very awkward.
Yeah. I like it, but the Magic player base is lazy, so I think they're just going to call them cycle lands.
Probably. I like cycle lands more than Amonkhet lands.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. I don't like that either. Is that what you've heard people call them?
I call them Amonkhet duels. Like everybody, there are a portion of
cyclers.
People,
I call them cyclers.
Cyclers, I like that.
Cycle lanes.
Ooh, what about who's the bicycle guy? Lance. What about Armstrong lands? Or Lance lands?
I think we're getting that's going a little too deep. I think.
Yeah, it's probably. I don't know.
All right, so Brady has a Tarmogoyf. Bob has a 1/1 Death Shadow and a Nile Spellbomb.
Yeah.
I mean, so he could bring the Goyf down a little bit. It's a little it's a little hard because the Nihil Spellbomb's not going to take the Goyf down too low.
No.
Because Bob will still have his graveyard.
Yeah, Brady only has creature and sorcery.
Yeah.
I can't see all of Bob's.
He has lands, I think.
Land instant creature.
Yeah.
So at most, he's going to take 1 point of power and toughness off this Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
But granted, it will draw him a card, and maybe it's a fatal push that he draws.
Yeah. I think it's better to hang on to it, though, until you can get him off Delirium.
Brady has 2 more Tarmogoyfs in his hand.
This is where I like Relic.
Yeah. But, as a Death Shadow... or as
you don't want...
As a Snapcaster
you don't want to do that to yourself, yeah.
Right.
So, it's a tough spot. This is a tough mirror matchup here.
I agree.
Here comes Goyf number 2.
Now,
the thing
deploy the nerd.
The thing is... Bob can... If Bob can get those Death Shadows bigger than the Goyfs, he's fine.
Right.
And Brady really needs one of his own Death Shadows.
You're right.
And I think if Brady had removal, he might use it by now. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he's going to hang on to it. But now the Goyfs are 5/5s.
Audience, I apologize. I'm not staying on top of these live totals tonight. I will make an effort to do better.
The Death Shadows. The Death Shadows are 5/5s now. So now they're bigger than the Goyfs.
They are.
He could attack. He risks them getting tar-fired potentially, but I don't think Brady has it in hand.
He doesn't, but that would be a great play to crack the fetch land and then tar-fire Bob and then the Goyfs grow big enough to block the 2 Death Shadows. That'd be. Of course, that's not going to happen. He does have.
Well, I don't think you want to tar-fire Bob because then the Death Shadows will get bigger too.
Oh yeah,
so you gotta tar-fire a Death Shadow.
Yeah, you're right. You're better at this game than I am. But what Brady does have in hand, which will be great on his next turn, is Lingering Souls, because those soul tokens just block these Death Shadows for days.
Unless Bob can get a Teamer Battle Rage, which I don't know if the Grixis Death Shadow runs, but I don't see why they wouldn't.
I don't know. Brady did off that Street Wraith. He did just draw Liliana of the Veil, which will kill one of these Death Shadows.
Yep.
So I believe Brady's actually now at 9, down to 10 from the Street Wraith, and then 9 off the fetch land. And
if Liliana ever gets killed, it grows the Goyf.
Oh, it does. All things that die grow the Tarmogoyf. I have no real regrets from getting all my cards in Japanese, except I missed the flavor texts.
Oh.
That's the one thing that just I'm kind of like, eh.
I mean, you can just look up what they are.
Yeah, I know, but when I used to play with a lot of English cards,
and there's a Death Shadow off the top too. All right.
I think I like just killing one of them with Liliana though.
Yeah.
Because
you have 2 Goyfs you can jump with if you need to.
Yeah, and then there's a decent chance that you get to end up killing both of them with this Liliana.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Brady's up a game, so I like the more aggressive plays to try and close this out. Because this could go pretty long. I don't think he wants it to go to game 3, because they may not finish.
Yeah.
Because we're already at almost the 20-minute mark.
Does he... I don't think you throw a Goyf
No.
I don't think you want to do that. There you go.
Because that's also just going to grow his Death Shadow.
You lose a Goyf and their Death Shadow gets bigger.
Alright, so here's the Spellbomb. Exiles all that stuff. We're going to have to recount the Goyfs.
Get a little bit smaller.
They might be 3/4s now. Although that artifact in Bob's graveyard, maybe they're still 4/5s.
Yeah, they might still
Looks like they're going to count right now. Yeah. So artifact, creature,
1, 2,
land,
3,
instant,
4.
sorcery.
Yeah, they're 5.
They're actually 5/6s. Okay.
So they were 5/6s the whole time.
Well, actually, they might have. Did he have a Mistress Bauble? Because they might have been 4/5s.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So the Nihil Spellbomb actually grew them.
So the Nihil Spellbomb did not go as planned.
Well, I mean, Bob may have just done it to draw a card because he needs to find some removal spells.
He does.
And Brady on his turn, when he ticks up that Liliana, he has the option to discard the Lingering Souls.
It's true.
Which is going to be great.
Oh, he drew Fatal Push. I think he's got a Fatal... I think it was a Fatal Push.
It might be a Street Wraith.
Oh,
or actually, that might be Collective Brutality.
I think either way, he's got to send the Death Shadow Liliana.
Yeah, because he want that way he'll either trade with Liliana or one of the Goyfs.
It will grow the Goyf.
If I'm Brady, it just depends on if I have another...
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think it is... I hope it's a Fatal Push. The Goyfs might get big enough to kill him.
It is a Fatal Push. Yeah, it is a Fatal Push, yeah. I think if I'm Brady, I might just let the Liliana die.
I would let... Yeah.
Is he double blocking?
I don't know. I think he is. Alright.
The Death Shadow's a 5/5? Alright, so we're going to cycle, go down to 6.
Okay.
Which makes the Death Shadow as 7/7.
Looks like he drew... Is that a Kolaghan's command that he drew?
So there's Fatal Push on one of the Goyfs.
Yep.
And then kills the second Goyf. Yeah, that... He did double... It looks like he might have double blocked. That's...
I think you just let...
Liliana die.
Letting Liliana die puts your Goyfs up to 7/8 and leaves him with no blocker.
Yeah,
even if he had the Fatal Push.
Now if Brady kills this Death Shadow, he's just at parity instead of being ahead.
Yeah.
Granted, he has the Lingering Souls.
He drew another Death Shadow. Oh no, he had that Death Shadow.
I think here you cast Lingering Souls because that'll let you tick up.
Tick up.
Yeah, and then this will make sure that your Liliana gets the 2 loyalty so that it can kill the Death Shadow.
Bob pitches an island, and I think Brady pitched.
So flashback Lingering Souls, and then cast your other Death Shadow. The order doesn't matter, but
Goyf number 3.
I mean, either way, he's going to, unless Bob draws a burn spell, he's going to get to Edict Bob here. Even though Brady lost both his Tarmogoyfs on that last play, he just rebuilt just like that, and he still has the Lingering Souls.
Yeah, those Goyfs, man.
We have had some good games.
Goyfs have consistently been in a lot of the decks that are considered the best decks in their formats. It was in one of the best decks in Standard in its day.
Yep.
It's
in Legacy a lot too.
Yeah.
So here's Kolaghan's command. I would admit getting back a Death Shadow, shocking the Liliana. Yep.
I mean, even though it's technically vanilla, it's potentially an 8/9 is as big as it can get now.
Yeah.
For 2 mana.
Because tribal.
That's absurd.
And now they are 6/7s, which that dice does not go up to 6/7 as I've learned.
Yeah. Oh, and
Liliana. Okay, so
and Bob got his own Liliana.
So what do you?
Looks like he took it down already too. Wait, did he steal it with something? He Kolaghan's command.
No, he played his.
Does Kolaghan's command take a Planeswalker?
No, he got back the Death Shadow. So it looks like he Death Shadowed at the end of Brady's turn.
Oh, okay.
And then on his turn, he untapped, played Death Shadow, played Liliana.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, and Brady will sacrifice his own Death Shadow. Bob attacks.
Brady down to 2.
Yeah. Woo. If you're gonna take the damage, maybe you should have sacrificed the Tarmogoyf. I'm not sure. Like this is hard.
So he's gonna traverse.
Checking for Delirium.
Does he have Delirium?
It looks like no. He may not have had Delirium there. Didn't realize it until he cast it. You do have to have the Delirium on cast, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's Bob's going to tie this up. We're going to go to game number 3 here with a little over 16 minutes on the clock.
Delirium is it's a modifier, so you have to have it when you cast it.
Like Revolt.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right, man. We've had some good games tonight.
Yeah, I especially liked Mark versus Paul earlier. The first 2 games, anyway. Game 3 wasn't so exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Game 3 could have been excited if Mark had drawn an Ugin or an Stone at any point.
I wonder if anyone has found the $100 gift card that is hidden in the store.
I don't know. I wonder if Ron has even hidden it.
He did not. So I told Aaron to do it. Aaron did it.
Oh, okay. I wonder where Aaron put it.
I don't know, and I don't know on purpose. So that way I can't be tortured for information.
Yeah, I have no idea either myself.
But if you're close to the mall, maybe stop in because it may not have been found.
Yeah.
If you're coming this direction anyway. And also, don't forget we do have our Team Grinder event tomorrow at noon. It's $20 per person to play, so $60 per team. Three-person teams, excuse me. One person is on Modern, one on Legacy, one on Standard. You play 3 versus 3 matches. It's something new we're trying. It's looking to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited for it. I am.
You should
playing
be. You're playing in it.
I like it. I got a good team of guys. I think all solid players. We've had some fun times in our private Facebook team group chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
is this safe for work?
Yeah, no, it's all fine. We had a lot of fun coming up with our team name, which won us the free entry.
Yeah, so we on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock we have a weekly show that we broadcast on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook called This Week at Four Horsemen, where we talk about this week's events and sales and any new products we might have, new comic books and such. And we did a contest on the show this week where anybody who's playing in the event could chime in the Twitch or Facebook chats, tell us their team name, and the best one free entry for their entire team into the event. And Kurt's team got there. You want to go ahead and tell everybody what your name was?
Yeah, we were between the sheets with Kurt and Carol.
Yeah,
and that is a combination of all our names because my teammates are Brandon Sheets and Sean Carroll. So
I gotta say that got us. Like, were you watching when...
I was watching.
Yeah.
I was watching.
Ron and I just lost it.
Yeah.
There were some other good ones, though.
I shouted out when you said I won, and my girlfriend got all scared because she wasn't really paying attention. And she was like, what? And I was like, I won.
I shouted Sunday night at the Amonkhet pre-release when I opened a Force of Will in my sixth and final pack.
Yeah, man, you...
I said a bad
are
word.
lucky. You're a lucky man.
And everybody's like, "What? What's wrong?" I was like, "I just thing.
Don't worry about it, guys. Nothing to see here.
Money in the pocket.
Please don't mug me."
Yeah. All right, so it looks like we're ready to go.
Yep.
Brady is fetching. Yep. As you do with the fetch lands.
17. Bob helping him out with the Levdansky.
Beautiful Dissension Blood Crypt.
You know, I really like all the art for the pain lands, the shock lands, but I kind of like the art from Return of Ravnica Black a little more.
I like the older arts generally, but there's a few new ones I prefer. Like, I like the new art Steam Vents and Godless Shrine and Watery Grave. I prefer those to the older ones. Blood Crypt is hard though because I really like both arts. Like, I like this one because it has very bright oranges.
Yeah.
But then the other one is just like this torture room that's just awesome. Local player Sam Hauk had a playmat of it for a long time. I always loved that playmat.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so Bob will also fetch shock himself down to 17.
No turn 1 play from Brady though.
No.
Is it gonna be?
I see lands.
Looks like he's got a light. Is that a lightning bolt?
No, it's a Tamir Battle Rage.
Oh.
So I see a bunch of lands and Tamir Battle Rage. Maybe that second to last card is Traverse the Uvenwald?
Alright, gonna shock in and Overgrown too.
Down to 15. We're not going to a second match this round.
The race is on.
Yeah.
There's a Thought Scour. Okay.
Mills over, surgical.
A surgical and
something else.
I couldn't see it.
Can you imagine if you in the Death Shadow mirror if you surgicaled your opponent's Death Shadows?
I have tried to do that a few times with my Sans deck, but the opportunity has not arisen.
Well, like, if you do it in the mirror, then you're just up 4 more threats than your opponent has in a matchup that's all about threats and removal spells, Especially if they have a Death Shadow in their hand and you get to get the one out of their hand. That'd be great.
I did surgical against a Death Shadow deck one time. Their fetch land on turn 1. Yeah, that was funny. We had a good chuckle about it. My thought process was if they can't fetch and shock, they can't get their life total that low.
Fetch lands seem to be pretty important in this deck. Although I guess
And,
they do run a bunch of different ones.
It didn't necessarily work out as I had planned, but my opponent did end up drawing all their other fetch lands anyways, and they just kind of flooded out, and I won anyways.
Yeah. Well, I think the issue is fetch lands are very important, but they run a bunch of different kinds of fetch lands. Yeah.
It was funny though. I don't regret it. I still won that match overall. So
I'm not. What do you think of the Amonkhet full arts? We talked about this a little bit earlier. I'm not crazy
I don't like him.
I'm not crazy.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
If I do kind of like the forest, but that may just be because green.
You know what I really wanted, and I think they missed out on? Kaladesh full arts. I really like the art of the Kaladesh lands.
I really like the island that's like all the little islands.
The swirly.
Yeah. That would have been great.
I would have loved to see some full art Kaladesh lands.
Me too. I'm glad to know that they're going to standardize that moving forward, though.
Yes. I mean, when Zendikar first came out, and they were like, hey, we got full art lands for the first time, not just in unsets, I was like, this is super sweet.
Do it.
I hope they just do this from now on and just get rid of all the old basic lands for this. I would have been okay with that.
So on Magic Mike's and the Magic Show, Evan Irwin has been saying for years, just switch to full arts. Nobody likes the half arts, and you're using the same graphic design that you've been using since 1993. It's time to update.
Yeah.
And like this just features the art so much better.
Yeah, and they're basics. You know, you don't need to know like what they do is a given.
Yeah. That's the first thing you learn.
So
here's Liliana.
Liliana,
a card I've cast quite a bit in my Magic career.
Nothing hit, but I mean he can just keep ticking her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although that is a little scary against the deck that's playing Lingering Souls and you're not.
Right.
But still,
both players sitting on a Teamer Battle Rage too.
Though, if you get to play
is
her,
that a Lingering Souls he just put in the graveyard?
Traverse the Uvenwald, I believe.
I can't see with the glare.
I'm pretty sure it's Traverse. But what I do like here is that so he's got to play her on an empty board. Tick her up. Now she's at 4 loyalty.
Yeah.
She can potentially kill the next 2 threats that Brady plays.
Right.
And if he gets to tick her up again, which he won't because there's an Abrupt Decay, but if he got to get her up to 5, then he can kill the next 2 things and keep her around. So actually, this exchange is not great because it's, but that's okay.
I mean, you got an empty board. You kind of have to slam the Lily.
Yeah, no, I would play it. I'm just saying since Brady just happened to have the Abrupt Decay there, and she didn't get to trade for a creature.
Did he draw
he drew it. He drew
it.
He has a very threat light hand, as in like 0.
That Amonkhet Swamp
is nice.
Is probably the only one of those that I like.
I like.
It's the only one that looks like the land that it is.
The swamp and the forest I like. The mountain does not have a mountain on it. It has nothing resembling a mountain.
And the plains and the forest all just have pyramids on them.
There's trees on the forest. There's a grassy area on the plains.
And the island
has water.
Has the river.
It has water, but not
it has like a waterfall.
Yeah.
I don't like him. The swamp is cool, and it makes sense with the Nicol Bolastorns.
Yeah.
He's centrally black. I know he's the shard, but he's the shard that's centered around black.
Because Grixis is black, and it's 2 allied colors
black centric.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense. It looks nice. I think it looks the nicest out of all of them.
So Inquisition, we reveal land, bolt,
it was
push
a bolt.
land, or no, it's in a Street Wraith.
It was a bolt.
I was talking about in Brady's. I thought you were talking about in Brady's.
No, I was talking about Bob's hand.
Oh, I thought. Well, I was looking at the Tamir Battle Rage in Brady's hand.
Oh, okay.
So he takes one of the pushes, and then he casts Traverse. So Bob's hand is really good against Brady's threat light hand.
Anything he plays.
So I imagine Brady's just going to shove out
this
Tarmogoyf, and it's going to get pushed.
I wonder if those bolts are main board or sideboard.
I don't know.
If it's sideboard specifically to go against other Death Shadows deck who get their life relay, though, that's some great planning.
Can you imagine if you attacked with your 2/2 and your opponent had a 1/1 Death Shadow and then they bolted themselves to make it a 4/4?
Yeah, you can do that too.
That'd be great. All right, so
we
predicted the future.
I like the scenario where they put their life to 2 or 3 in Teamer Battle Rage, their Death Shadow going in for the win, and they go to attack, and you go, okay, Bolt you.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about in game 1 because their life totals got so low. They both played burn spells.
Yeah.
Even the tribal burn spell was threatening. All right, Bob's down to 10. I keep promising I'm going to get better with these life totals tonight.
We're going to have to give them their 5-minute warning in a second, too.
Yeah. I will go ahead and step downstairs and let them know.
Let them know that we will stop when they're at time. I think that's a good indicator there. All right. So any glyphs that come out, it looks like are potentially 6/7s. Unless they just forgot to take the dice away. They got the 5-minute warning. And Bob hard casts a Street Wraith again.
Holy Toledo.
Interesting tactics from Bob. I like it. I don't think I've ever seen a Death Shadow get cast.
Well,
a Street Wraith get cast in a Death Shadow deck, but we've seen it twice from Bob.
Well, I mean, it's an empty board.
Yeah.
Brady is
It's not a bad play by any means. It's just interesting.
It doesn't die to Abrupt Decay. It doesn't die to Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push.
I think it does die to Lightning Bolt.
I think it's a 3/4.
Nah.
It does die to Liliana.
I think it's a 3/3. I'm going to look it up.
You go ahead.
I'm going to look it up.
I'm completely ready to be wrong on this.
Street Wraith used to be a real sweet card in Time Spiral drafts.
That's a dead Street Wraith.
Yep.
It's a Cemetery Wraith. It looks like I think Bob drew a multicolored card. Perhaps it was a Cult Against Command.
Oh, it is a 3/4. You were right.
Yeah. So it's actually
he's a big boy.
It's unblockable because of the swamp thingy.
That's
swamp
actually
walk, and it doesn't die to the 3 main removal spells. 4 because of the Tart Fire.
Yeah.
It doesn't die to any of those. Just Liliana.
So he can bolt the Lily.
Yeah. He can bolt Lily, which I would probably do. Is Brady empty-handed?
No. He still has Teamer Battle Rage and.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's had that forever.
Yeah. Ooh, Gurmag.
Gurmag. Speaking of things that don't die to Lightning Bolt, Tire Fire, Fatal Push, him. That other card, Abrupt Decay.
Yeah.
I wonder if Brady has a Maelstrom Pulse in his list tonight.
He does.
Okay.
In his last matchup, he used it against a Karn. He was playing Nick Foley's Tron deck.
Okay. Shout out to Nick Foley, another one of our wonderful Tron players.
Yep.
Love all those Tron players.
Now see, Bob's Island there, that is a beautiful looking land.
I like it.
It's
not my favorite Zendikar Island, but I like it.
No, I like the one that has the real bright turquoise colors in it. You know?
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
That one is pretty.
It is nice. I like all of them. They're great. So, these players have to find a way to close this game. Excuse me, Bob has.
Yeah. He's Brady's on a 3-turn clock.
Yeah, I think that was a Cult Against Command he drew.
And he's going to go ahead and just cast it.
And he can just shock Brady and make him discard a card. If he draw... Okay, so he gets the Street Wraith. Oh, that's great. So the converted mana cost on Street Wraith is 5, so he can't discard it to Inquisition.
Yeah.
That's great. So, did he do... He's probably... Yeah, he made Brady discard. He's going to...
Brady's in a tough spot. He can't get his life total down there to cast his Death Shadow.
Well, Gurmag might help him with that.
Yeah.
Is that the last card?
5/6, I believe, right?
5/5.
5/5.
Is the last card in Brady's hand a Death Shadow?
It is.
Yes, it is. It is. Okay.
So he needs to take 1 hit.
And then he can make a 3/3.
He can cast it.
Yeah.
As a 3/3. And then assuming Bob doesn't have
so
removal,
here's 5. Brady's down to 10.
There's that guy.
I'm going to put you in charge of stomping when they hit the mark.
Okay. They know to listen to stomp?
They know.
Perfect.
And we'll count the turns up here.
All right.
Collective Brutality for the turn?
Does he even have that in his deck? Are you sure he even has that?
It looks like a
in his list.
I'm pretty sure this Collective Brutality.
Because you thought he had one last time and it never came down.
No, I thought Bob had one.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about...
I'm talking about Brady.
Oh, yeah, that is a Collective Brutality.
I'm not sure what you do with Collective Brutality here, because it doesn't kill either creature. I don't think you want to...
Isn't it target Opponent sacrifices a creature.
No, Collective Brutality has 3 modes. Creature gets -2/-2. Opponent reveals their hand, and you discard any instant or sorcery you choose, and then opponent loses 2 and you gain 2. Which you don't want to gain life. You don't want to
do that.
You don't want to gain life.
No.
So, I mean, I guess you just target it and see if he has an instant or sorcery in his hand. Which, it looks like he did. I'm not sure what it was. It might have been a Snapcaster. So here's in for a 7.
Interesting.
Or 8, excuse me. Brady's down to 2.
Is that Thought Scour? Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for a Snapcaster, can snap bolt.
Oh, so he had 2 Thought Scours. So had Brady cast it, he would have got that Thought Scour out of his hand.
Yeah.
So here's Spell Bomb, exiling a lot of cards out of Brady. He's graveyard. Bob's gonna draw Death Shadow, and that might lock it up right there.
I don't think Brady has a way out of this.
Yeah, unless Brady has Damnation in his list, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think the bell has tolled, and it tolls for.
They're in time, but I don't think it's gonna matter.
No. But this is turn. Actually, I think Bob was turn 0.
Yeah,
but it looks like this game is over.
But they think they're turn 0 because we screwed up. So.
You're right. I don't think it's gonna matter.
No.
All right.
He has Lingering Souls,
but he doesn't have
can't cast.
You know, actually, if he had the white mana, the Lingering Soul. No, because the Swamp Walk.
I think the only way this deck can cast that is. He has it in the graveyard.
He has a Godless Shrine.
Does he have a Godless
Shrine? He had it in play turn 2. All right, in a very close matchup, Bob takes it 2-1.
Great matches.
That was a great one.
We definitely are not going to be able to find another one for this.
No, because they were already at time.
Yeah.
So we will be right back, guys, with our final match of the evening. Whoop!